This is the Transparency Podcast Show.
And it's really interesting because, with Jeffrey Dahmer being so popular right now.
Yes, I was just going to say. Yes.
And the way that the sheriffs treated that whole situation where they knew who he was, they knew he was assaulting and killing people, but they didn't care because they were black and brown folks. There's also another individual in the city of West Hollywood that was just sent to federal prison named Ed Buck. I don't know if you know anything about that story.
No.
It's very similar to Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, I don't think Ed Buck consumed body parts, but what he did do was he drugged homeless black men in his apartment and raped them. And the sheriffs didn't start getting involved until the second person was found dead in their apartment.
Yeah.
It took so many community activists like Jasmine Koenig who came in and really created a voice to make change. And, her story has inspired me in so many ways to continue the effort and the work, because the city of West Hollywood can be a beautiful thing, but there are some folks that are still in power that are causing a lot of pain for people.
Yeah. So, so you also report onto the media, news.
Yeah.
And what are their response? Are they more supporting?
Well, here's the crazy thing too. I went to all of the local media in West Hollywood because I used to do advertising for them. So I knew all the owners of, different media sources. And I tried to get them to interview me to tell my story.
Yes.
Some of them, took my story, but none of them ran the story at all.
Wow.
And none of them have run any of the stories that are going on in West Hollywood right now. It's almost been this weird blackout because there's been these city council meetings. And I mean, you can go to my TikTok right now. You can watch some of them. You can watch some of them on Instagram. And you will see, sheriffs admitting horrible things, like that their training includes flags when it comes to LGBT folks. That's their extensive training on learning how we work as a community. And the media, in the local media, just has not reported on it at all. And, I realize that a lot of those local media sources are supported by the advertisement of those bars. So it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you. So I've had to go outside of West Hollywood to make connections with media, because the local media won't report. But, luckily the national media sees the importance of this, because this story is beyond me. I mean, my story is one of maybe 1,000, maybe 100,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's all lives matter, trans lives matter, black lives matter. And many victims don't speak out because they're afraid.
Yeah.
Or if they maybe try to speak out, like go to those resource or media, and they just get shut down. Remember, you just mentioned on the show how many times that neighbor tried to report Jeff Dahmer, and nobody give a damn.
Yeah.
And the neighbor, the neighbor just has to keep trying.
Yeah.
But a lot of victims, they probably just give up.
Yeah.
And so that means the voice is quiet.
Yeah.
And the the crime or the murder will continue to do what they want to do.
Just walking free on the streets, and it's risking other citizens' lives.
Right. So that's why what you're doing, I'm very, proud of you. I know it's very hard. I kind of experienced some sort, like somebody tried to drug me as well before, but wasn't like in your degree. So I know how that feel, and I know how internal you feel, not just physical. It can break you, if some people might just do something way stupid or something bad.
Well, luckily I haven't done anything stupid, because I have a lot of beautiful people around me that are guiding me.
That's good.
And that's what's keeping me from doing stupid things. But I'm turning this pain into power, and it is hard. Even after going on the news and basically telling the world, hey, I've been raped, I went to the local grocery store by my house, and two guys that were like, cisgender kind of probably, straight guys recognized me, and they started laughing at me and kind of following me in the store. Yeah. I mean, because some people, it's really horrible, especially as a male victim of rape. People don't take it seriously. People have literally questioned, because I'm a big guy, how could that happen to you? No, not you. No way. That could never happen to you. I mean, even so much so that I fell for that I was in a space and I could never even fathom that happened to me because I am a big guy. But unfortunately, you know, being trans doesn't really prevent you from that type of assault. You know, if someone wants to target you because you're trans and they visibly know you're trans, and I mean, I'm pretty trans all over the city of West Hollywood. You know,
so
I'm
that's
very
why,
vocal.
right.
So
Visible.
it's the challenge of finding your voice while, you know, facing a lot of these systems that are built into shutting our voices up.
Yeah, and also, like I mentioned, this can happen to anyone. It's just not trans or LGBTQ members. So I did also saw some news that you were in recently, and they say they're gonna do something about it, coming up with some sort of test strip. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. So the amazing thing is, through my incident, there's been a lot of advocacy. A lot of community has jumped in and taken the lead as well after coming out with my story.
Yes.
We've actually been able to get test strips for the city of West Hollywood for drinks. So folks can actually test their drinks while they're, you know, in the bars. Unfortunately, you know, the bar that I was assaulted in and some of the other bars are refusing to actually take these test strips in their bars.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm not. I'm so serious. So much so that one of them said to a council member directly, "Never in my bar will I have that. It's a liability."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
Wow.
That's why I'm speaking out now, because I've seen so much, and I love the city of West Hollywood so much. You know, I'm probably one of the only current appointed city officials that I know of who has probably lived through different economic statuses in the city of West Hollywood, where when I was a young kid, I was busking on Santa Monica Boulevard with my guitar and a cup back when I was homeless, trying to make money for a motel room. And at the same time, I've been a board member for LA Pride. I've been an appointee for the city official. I've worked, you know, in health services for the city. I've worked in mental health services. I've worked in community services. And I've really seen a well-rounded idea of what the potential of the city of West Hollywood can be. And most folks, when something like this happens, they want to throw their hands up in the air. But for me, I see this as a turning point for the city of West Hollywood. I see this as a moment for them to shine, a moment for more voices to be brought in, and more people to be brought in.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the positive side of coming out from this tragedy.
Yeah.
And also, like you're gonna have some meeting coming up tomorrow.
Yes. So I'm going to be going to the West Hollywood City Council meeting. I'm going to speak out again. I think it's really important that we stay on it and we stay consistent.
Right.
Because these council members, the way the system works, you can't just show up once. You have to be consistent. Just like that neighbor in the Dahmer, you know, story. They probably called 100 times before, you know, anybody even noticed anything. So my goal is just to stay consistent, not get burnt out, and get folks to understand that they can make a change too, even if it's just digitally joining along or liking a post or sharing a post and extending that platform so that other people can see that story and see really what's going on, so we can really find a solution to this problem.